Morning, guys. All right. I'll have a timer up for you guys on Thursday for the countdown to beginning. Figured out what I'm going to use for that app. Just didn't get it installed yesterday. Gonna play some Curse of the Dead Gods this morning, followed by some Total War on Thursday. That's the plan. I'm gonna learn Total War multiplayer this weekend, which should be a blast, but it's gonna be pretty try-hardy, I think. Wanted one more day of Curse of the Dead Gods. Hey, Fudgenator. Hello, Bill. Gallbladder Slayer. Hello. I don't know what that means, but it sounds unpleasant. Alright, what are we running right now? Corruption, champ drops, 1,000 gold. That's fine. Alright, let's see if we can remember how to be bad. Yeah, I think we can. Bad. How am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good, man. How about yourself? Maybe a little tiny bit hungover, but not too bad. Got something different today. This afternoon I'm doing a relationship talk with my wife as part of her class, her college class. That should be fun. A little different, maybe. Okay, do we need anything in this room? Looks like no. Probably could have killed that rather than take that last piece of damage. Or rather than try to dodge away. You stop putting my light out. It's got hit because I was trying to figure out that light. That's annoying. Yeah, kind of happy for a chill curse day as well. I think this weekend is going to be fairly intense as I try to figure out the Warhammer stuff. So this game is fairly relaxing, kind of. But we did just get hit for no reason. Like to work on getting a reasonable build going here. How's everyone's lockdown status? I haven't talked about that in a while on channel. Oh, he's tried to dodge. Hey, dehydrogenase. Anyone back to normal yet? Quasi-normal? Anyone allowed in public again yet? Workload got bigger, so you just a regular day for you with a bit extra work. Let's see. Alright. Get a rune. 100% damage taken in gold tends to be pretty solid for us. Try to get a healing rune though. That's a very good one too. Especially this early. And especially when I'm paying for it in blood. Alright, we'll take that. And Canada is still quite locked up. Yeah. Denmark showing very positive development. Okay. Florida opened up too soon. Yep. My parents are down in Florida. My dad's a big sailor and is kind of he's been staying away from boat ramps. He really wants to go sailing, but it's been like the boat ramps are just crazy busy. He was kind of hoping if when they open shit up, people would stop being so crazy about doing that, so he could do that. I don't like this one particularly, but it's not that bad. Dying Rich is a nice rune for sure. Are you fucking kidding me? Your dumb shit swinging around making me miss the corruption orb. That's pretty bad. Can't quite get the arc of this round swing yet. Oh wow. Not even close to the right direction there. A corruption orb always makes me grumpy. I think this is otherwise empty. Being away on a boat is ideal. Yeah. I mean, I live by a river in Oshkosh, and there have been a couple weekends, like last weekend, the river was like a parking lot. I just took 2 damage off traps talking about that. There were so many people out there on boats. They were like, the boats couldn't have been 6 feet away from each other. It was hilarious. It's kind of ridiculous and like also hilarious, you know? I'm getting wrecked right now. Damage in the last room and a half for no reason. I played Steel Division. I don't think so. Alright, weapon room and 2. And killing the game is it killing me? You know, we take turns. This round I'm giving one to the game to start off with. Bad. Yeah, I can pity the game, you know? The game tries so hard, and I normally just crush it so easily. Good morning, full moon. Full moons. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not in the Florida for this. My parents are in their 70s, too. Early 70s, which means that they are prime candidates for not. Oh I just hit a fucking barrel with a two-handed weapon. What run would be complete without having done that? And got smacked by something else. Alright. Call this a warm-up run. A warm-up run. So let me warm up. Don't just keep hitting me. Jesus. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it either. They're being pretty careful about it. Alright. Okay, we're getting a weapon. It's going to cost us corruption, but we're at 164 health. We need a pretty big piece of help here. I don't think we're going to get it either. Well, harvest is... Urns have blood. It's kind of a non-issue. Overall. One way or the other. 14 is a number. It's a number greater than 0, I might add. Ah, that one's 0. That one's minus 80 or 76. Okay. Could have died rich. Could have died rich. I think the path, well, getting hit a bunch of times in stupid locations didn't help. I think the path was actually slightly too greedy. I think I need to get a life leeching ability early. So like this path might be just a lot better. Give me the weapon right off the bat. Or getting a life leeching relic is fine too, but life leeching relics are harder to guarantee. First one hits me. It's not worth the restart, but shit, it feels bad. And again. Again. 400 health first room. That might be a restart. Let's see what the weapon drops. You got a question already from your wife's students? No, that's this afternoon. It's in the title. A lot of damage on that. Damage in darkness, damage versus bosses, perception damage. Restore, I like charge attack hits for 3. Restores 1% max HP. Damage versus uninjured. Attacks from behind. That's okay. Alright. New Jersey closed school for the year. The year or the semester? Like they closed fall schools? They did Fudginator, and my wife kind of worked through them. I skimmed them a little bit. Most of the goal for that was to make sure they're not asking stuff that just really isn't appropriate of them to ask of their teacher, you know? So They're pretty good. A lot of questions on compromises in marriage and how do you make decisions or what do you do about this and that kind of thing. Should be stuff too. Pretty easy to talk about, I think. Didn't hit me. Just lost all the life we gained. Auto parries, my only friend. Hello, Dark Blades, welcome. The rest of this school year, crazy. Blood offerings cost corruption, or blood offerings cost blood now. That's not good for us. It really makes me a lot poorer. I have less blood than I have corruption at the moment. Yeah, universities have been doing that, but I didn't know if they'd announced for next semester yet. Looks like they have for some places. Time to charge up? Yeah. Fire attack damage, not very helpful for us yet. Get a little bit of health from that room. Watching some of the stuff talking about like it's kind of like basically attention fatigue almost, right? Like people are kind of over this fucking pandemic shit, even though the pandemic isn't done, you know? And I kind of feel that. I understand that feeling. It's kind of like, fuck, we've been doing this forever. We're not done with this yet? Oh shit, I just did the wrong thing. I just charged up with the wrong attack and got hit for that. Really? Lost health. Feels terrible. Alright, health off killing with environment, blood offering cost, 150 damage taken as gold, and I can buy it with gold. Taken. Okay. Fire damage boosts my torch. It's true. Why did I not think of that? Glorious power spike. Only we hadn't already lost 400 health. Fire claws. Meh. Perfect. A little bit of cash incoming. And again, I like it a lot. Nice. Getting paid. Oh my god. Just need to pick up a little bit of cash for the next couple fights. More fire damage. Now we can pay for this in gold because of the damage we took, because big brain plays from the streamer. brain plays from the ghoul. So he thought. Didn't realize he was giving us cash. Might not have hit me if he had known. Ah, nice. Almost ran out of dodge pips. Doing there. I just like changed buttons 3 times, not doing anything at all. Guess I was accumulating gold. Nice attack. Yep. I get better when I don't play this game a lot, I can tell. Scaling off con, which is actually okay, but needs healing on it right now. Okay. Can remind you of Path of Exile. It's definitely an action RPG. Environmental kills heal me. 75% less corruption. Crits heal me. I mean, you gotta do it, right? Life's a resource. You got 1 room to make up enough life to beat the boss. Talk about politics here loud. To a point. I think talking about facts and kind of where everyone's at and the state of things that are happening, I think that's all fine. I'm much less interested in like candidate talk or bashing the administration or whatever else, right? It's kind of within reason, I guess, is how I describe that. Gotta remember that crits heal me, so I was just hitting at crit range. How it didn't interrupt you at all. Alright, do we need any of these things? We have 2,200 gold. 20% chance to inflict fire damage. Finishers weaken enemies. Con damage. We're looking for a better spear, I think. That is a better spear, but it doesn't heal. Fire, max H. Fire base damage with a pistol. Scales off dex. I think we gotta take that. Alright. Working in healthcare science, would like to hear more about the current situation in the US, in my opinion. What specifically would you like to hear from my opinion? 188 HP in a dream. Thank you very much, Zero Baja. He was thinking about it. You can see him thinking about it. Feeling a little light on cash. Fuck. Almost. You You cannot farm HP off the dogs with crits. Seems that summons, summons with the exception of the little flying bat curse summons, do not give HP back. That's close. Your player gives you PPE 2 masks for working. How's my area coping? People start to wear masks at all? At the moment, Wisconsin's been okay about masks. The general populace is not wandering around in masks, but they are using masks when they're in stores. So like the grocery store, if you go to the grocery store, everyone's wearing a mask there, which is much better than, for example, like Florida right now, where no one's wearing, like a large portion of the people are not wearing masks in stores, from my understanding of it. We haven't been hit super hard in this area, and people are not doing a really good job about social distancing, especially on nice days. There's a lot of kind of like people getting together in the park, throwing a frisbee around, kind of hanging out kind of deals, which isn't amazing from that perspective. But I don't know, I think people are taking it seriously but are tired of it, and especially like there's a bunch of college kids in this area and they don't seem to be wanting to adhere to some of those rules. What do you guys think? Left here, relic, cache, weapon, I think is fine. So kind of mixed here is the answer. Had a neighbor chatting me up the other day who I kept having to walk backwards from them because they kept walking in closer, who was like, I think it's not as hyped up as not such a big deal as they're saying. And I'm kind of like, well, just look at the death numbers, guys. Look at the impact it's had on the fucking world. I mean, I don't think it's as big a deal as they're saying. What does that even mean? But I do think most people are taking it fairly seriously. Alright, I may have missed a secret room. No, okay. Not getting hit by the first goal we see is a nice change. Yeah, it's tough because like you don't want to spend the rest of your life. Like I already feel like I spent a fucking third of 2020. I don't know how they just hit me there. A third of 2020 just stuck in my house, which is not really what I want to be doing. I was talking to Jorbs about this the other day. Like it really feels like part of having a balanced life, especially as a streamer, when I spend so much of my time sitting on the computer doing this. It's very nice to have the other parts of your life as support for that, like the other pillars of your life. So a part of me is kind of like, fuck, like, no, not a part of me, all of me is like, fuck, I really like this to be over. Another part of me is like, this is we're kind of in the early days of the impact yet. Now we may not be in lockdown forever here, but there's going to be some serious long-term impacts of this. So fire attacks is kind of a build around. We're going to have, this is the first room. We got potential relics now, followed by weapons in the room after next. It's not a great one, but it's okay. I might roll again and see if we can get something better. See, that one's really good. Let's take this. Yeah, I'm not even sure it's people don't think about it. I think it's that this is just like the shitty parts of human nature, right? Like, we're not very good as a species at dealing with long-term things, right? All of our shit is short-term. This is like the problems with dieting. This is the problems with like any short-term like before. Sorry, I was trying to play while I actually talk as well. Any of these immediate benefits with long-term detriments are hard for us, right? And the same with keeping that level of alertness, right? You think of like combat alertness, right? When you're like, you can't have people constantly on guard, right? There has to be some downtime or they just get fatigued out from this shit. And it feels like a lot that people are kind of getting a little fatigued out of this stuff right now. And that doesn't excuse not doing it, but it is a pretty predictable, understandable part of being human. So to not pay any attention to it or to just be like power through it isn't realistically looking at how people behave, right? So I kind of feel like that should be thought about maybe a little more than it is. Yeah, definitely downsides to stress. Although, I don't know if I'm feeling stressed about it. It's just kind of, you know, it certainly changed my behavior with people. I'm a little less interested being around, well, clearly being around them, but also like, you know, like stairwell, etc. Like I'm kind of like smile from a distance as opposed to being engaging in conversations, etc. And some of that's just the distancing part, but it also shapes how you behave. More than just like physical distance, is shaping how I kind of think about people a little bit right now. They're kind of like to be avoided. I don't know, it's kind of interesting seeing that. So you're not big heals off this weapon. Ah, cheers. Thanks for the support from the PKA audience. Glad you guys enjoy me on there. This is a chill Tuesday stream. Playing Curse of the Dead Gods, which I'm quite fond of, but not very good at. Dude, I had the fucking best dream. You just reminded me, Nobu. Totally off topic, but just for a half a second, prompt off that. I had the best fucking dream last night. We're on vacation in this ginormous abandoned like ship, kind of, except it wasn't abandoned. But it was like this huge like ship hull, and they had an indoor forest in the ship hull, and I was flying through the fucking forest on these like levitating boots. It was like the fucking greatest dream ever. It was like skiing, except like in 3D. It was really fun. Alright, these claws are kind of fucking good now. I do. Did I really just, the claws just pull me back into that? Wow. What a joke this room was. So much damage. I'm trying to combo the double crit combo, which is that. So you leap behind him, that crits them, and then you finish with the crit. It's kind of a little... Yeah, I want whatever Filthy had. I'll take that again. That was an experience worth having. Is this a run we have fire attacks? No. This is crit heals and attributes. What's the curse we picked up? Spike traps. Charged attacks, fire combo finishers. This is a main hand weapon for health, scaling off perception, and deals crit damage when stamina is depleted. I think we're gonna pick this up. I haven't used the main hand sword weapon in a while. The damage does not seem super high on this right now, but... What were the claws we had? Yeah, okay. Basics. Was there a shield there that was any good? I do like me some shields. Yeah, I think the living kind of saw, I mean, this has certainly shown how fragile some of the positions people are holding in life are right now. How the disruption of like even a single or a couple paychecks is just like the end of a lot of people's financial stability, which really sucks. We gotta break this wall open, so I need them to cooperate. Excuse me. Yeah, I need you not to hit me as you're cooperating. In fact, you fuck right off. I'm not... God damn it. No one saw that, chat. That sequence of events did not happen. We did not get hit twice while trying to knock over a wall worth 50 gold and then get hit by the trap behind the wall. Did not happen. In fact, if you think you saw that, you should get your eyes checked. Second warm-up game. Hey, David. Yeah, we play a lot of games on stream. So you may or may not, depending on what you're into. Alright, anything I need them to knock open? No. So let's take the greed kill. Alright. Remember when I said nothing I need knocked open? I was wrong. That's so annoying. Okay. Is there a roadmap for this game somewhere? I don't know. Because we lose a drop at a relic drop. Potentially from that. There's often a chest there. Sometimes it's a shitty weapon chest. It doesn't mean anything, but sometimes it's kind of run defining early to have some sort of information like that. Just got hit by a ghoul. Shot something I didn't mean to. Then ran out of stamina and didn't dodge. Had a great old time is what I'm getting at. Yeah, I hate how political this crisis has been made, right? Like, the problem is not a political problem to start with. And making solutions to this problem politically motivated solutions is kind of toxic for the actual, like, best practices for it. Alright, let's try using these mobs to our advantage again. Alright, one more. Great. Now I don't need you anymore. Missed the greed by like half a second because I had to go back to that drop, which is kind of a bummer. It's probably only a very, very small amount of gold, but still. Dodged too early. Alright, one hit there. Let's pay blood for this. Yeah, I mean, there's a truth to that, Reactor Monk, but there's not a truth to the facts of the... There's no political truth to the facts of the virus, right? Yeah, the decisions you make based on the facts are political in nature, right? This is a evaluation of the appropriate response to have, which has some elements of value system in it, right? But the basic facts are not political, and they have been political. What am I looking for? Politicized? Politicized? How do I fucking say that? Made political. Damn it. I really should not be talking while playing this game. I'm just not good enough at this type of game to do that. And did I just picked up a hammer? Yeah. does this hammer suck so hard? Alright, open this door for me. Thank you, David, for the sub. And the tier 3 too, man. Cheers. The expensive fancy subs. Yeah, some of the, I don't know if that's an American thing only. You definitely see some of the options that people who are much wealthier have compared to those of us who are not in terms of what they could do about this shit. I don't know that that is inherently political. It's just, like, to some degree, I guess, if you look at it far enough, like, how do you structure society? That was less worrisome to me than the kind of 1984-ish shit with how we approach facts during this, right? Like, spinning false information to support your ideology for this was kind of fucked up. What do we want to do for this? Damage off shields. I like this ability. It helps when you fuck up, but I don't think it's worth building around early. 15% of gold offerings is okay, but not great. All healing effect modifier is kind of nice. I think we'll roll again. This is a pretty powerful effect. Reduce the damage taken, essentially. Especially versus the hard hitters like bosses or those stupid hammer dudes. I don't mind taking that. It's got damage on it too. Let's take this. Okay. Yeah, and I don't really want to debate policy because when the initial question came up, kind of in, you know, how much politics do you want to have related to this question? My answer is not very much, but I can criticize things like ignoring the science in favor of politics on either side being fucking bullshit. Okay, no, let me take extra damage to traps. Yeah, Phelan, we are. Thanks for 38 months. Welcome back. Oh, I forgot I'm using this incredibly shit weapon. Oh, my torch can't light. I just trying to light that on fire. I think he's gonna hit them. I keep waiting for one of these straps to trigger on them. Thank you. Perhaps you open the door by talking about it at all, but so when we start hitting policy discussions, like, I'm not informed enough at all to make decisions about that, to make even judgments about that, really. So when we're talking things like whether or not the school should hit me, then that's just what I want to talk about. I seriously despise the mace attack, it's so weak. Corruption 75% less. Already have a better one of those. These are all bad. I have 6 rerolls left. Roll again. This is an interesting one. Getting this early is actually okay. That's always solid for us. This is bad if we have incremental healing along the way, or not that great, rather. I think we're gonna take our golden mask here. And we're gonna pay for it in blood. I was reading some interesting stuff about paper journalism and how the kind of underfunding of newspapers has really gutted some of the abilities of these companies to do the kind of, I think, better journalism. And that's not to say that all journalism is shit now or anything like that, but there was some again, like, this is again about the immediate versus long-term stuff, that some of the funding cuts basically disproportionately hit long-term investigations as opposed to immediate kind of clickbaity stuff now. Taking damage causes hallucinations. Alright. Our boss right now, right? I hate it when the claw jump misses. Like that. I'm just showing you how much I did it. Let's try to light it on fire, but my torch doesn't do that. Nice claw. By that animation lock on the claw jump for the 5-point finisher. Died to the poison. Got hit by one corruption attack, kind of medium that fight. We're looking for an HP stealing weapon. We have a lot of dagger damage right now. Scales off crits, offhand combos deal critical damage. It's really hard right now. I didn't like the dagger attack overall. Close, but I think I'm not taking it. Huh. Scaling off dex, base damage, gives movement speed on kills, restores HP. I think that's what we're picking up. I haven't done a bow run in a while. Alright. I don't really know how the poison mechanic works. So more applications are more damage per time, but by how much? Is it percent based? Is it just a little bit of damage? Like, I don't see a number when poison ticks, so I don't really have a strong way of evaluating if it's garbage or not. It feels like I get some kills with it, but a lot of times I'm chasing the unit anyways, and the kill surprises me more than it helps me. That could be just me not playing with it very well. Dodge that. Just dodge that. Alright, bow. Fucking annoying as hell right now. Not this thing, I don't care about this thing, but I care about being unable to shoot my bow. Wow. Hope that was worth, because that felt not worth. We getting paid for being hit? Ha! Never mind, we're just charging up our bank. It's fine. Portion of the enemy health bar goes green. That's interesting from poison. Did I swap the weapons or no? Didn't. Okay. Is my gun poison right now? No. That was the last run, I guess. I need this bow to scale up faster on damage right now. It's not doing quite enough. I need to be at least 2-shotting ghouls. Max stam is pretty good with two-handed weapons, including bows. Less corruption outdoors, or we could roll. What does the bow scale off of? Damage, right? Let's roll once. How much damage is +1 level? 2 maybe? All right, we're 24, or we're like 24 plus 6 right now, right? So let's take a look. I agree. Let's science it and find out. 28 and 6, okay. $33 plus 8, so it changes the base damage too. What even is a relationship talk? My wife teaches university, and she's teaches psychology at university, and one of the classes she teaches is, I think it's called intimate relationships or close relationships. It's talking about, you know, like romantic partners, about friends, about family, etc. And I'm going to be part of that conversation today after stream. So that'll be fun. What do we get for our curse? Flamethrower traps automatically trigger. That did change us to 2-shotting them, which is a big upgrade. Off-screen fucking corruption attack. I hate that. I hate running into corruption attacks where I don't see the attack animation coming off. It just feels like I get so screwed when that happens. It's like, surprise. Enjoy nothing. Another one of these dudes. I don't really like fighting these dudes with ranged weapons. No, I don't really want to aggro more either. That's pretty good damage actually right now. The weapon level up was pretty good, surprisingly. And I think I'm actually really pleased about this talk, because one of the things I always felt was there's two like major areas that I felt school did a terrible job on. And the first was offering any sort of career guidance. You know, like if you are a decent student doing well in your courses, at no point do you really get someone sitting you down teaching you how to find a career from that. What profession should you go into? Should you go to graduate school or not? Should you seek an advanced degree or not? If you are doing well but don't have great guidance, how do you go from that to something? I found that really lacking in the education system. That's one of them. And the other one I found really lacking is any talk about a huge portion of your life. Human relationships are going to be a huge portion of your life, period, right? And the relationship with your SO is also going to be a huge portion of your life. And those are never talked about in school, ever. How do you build a successful relationship? It's just going to be fucking trial and error for you, basically, because you're not going to learn anything about that. And I always felt like that was a huge lack. So intimate relationships is one of my favorite classes in college ever. I was just like, wow, people study this shit? What a great idea. So I'm pretty pleased about being a part of that today. Why am I shooting these dogs? And why am I worse, not hitting them? a rock that I couldn't see. I'm hit twice now. Fuck up my auto targeting. I need to lock on with this, but I never really figured out how to do that. Get out of the way, dogs. Christ. Alright, what curse do we want to get rid of? Torch lighting? Damage causes hallucinations? Flamethrower traps trigger automatically. I still hate this trap. I never recognize those. They always get me for damage. So I'm going to drop that. Okay, there's the 5 things we've dropped. We got 30% against weakened targets. Meh. 15 crit damage. What would we drop? So none of these are dex boosters, and our bow scales off dex. Our bow does not do fire attacks. I guess it's probably best to drop that. I want this. Not really. Take that. I'm not sure we're going to use that. We have a lot of perception. This wasn't a perception item I dropped, right? No. This doesn't have fire attacks on it, right? Right. Okay. Perfect shots are crits. Oh, yes. For this, you mean. Mm-hmm. Not the thing I dropped. I still can't remember what the hell this was. I picked it up 6 times. Yeah, fire. Where? Here? There? We want a relic again. So I don't know, it's kind of exciting. The part that I think I'll go in with some disclaimers, right? Like, neither of us are trying to pretend we have a perfect relationship or anything like that. And I always feel a little like kind of high horse talking about using your relationship as, why am I shooting with this shit weapon and then taking damage? I guess for cash? Perfect. But still be able to talk. I mean, we've been together for 10 years now. Be able to talk about some of the things that are, you know, part of a successful relationship for us, from based on questions that they have. I feel like is decent. I feel like that's an okay way. Ran out of stamina. I guess we only took damage off this shitty one. It's still okay to take damage here. It's just kind of a little awkward. Can I have my vision back? Thanks. And as kind of a supplementary to the fact that she's been talking about research all semester of that, it's just kind of, could be okay. Did I just read? Is there a healer sitting in the back making my life miserable? There is. I feel like it does enough damage, you know? Almost got hit there. It's pretty shit. Is it better than anything we have? Alright, is there anything else in here? Chests, etc.? Alright. Gold offerings remove corruption. Base damage off pistols. These are not helpful. Let's roll again. Big heal when max health. When a curse is listed, gives us a lot of perception. Could buy this with gold. It's probably better than this thing here. Alright. We beat the next boss. Going in with the big heal at the start of the act can be useful. We can replace that later. I do like those because you can replace them. You get the value out of it, then you get rid of it. Oh man, oh, wrong weapon. Don't shoot it with the shit weapon. Use your big bow. Use your big boy bow. Healing that exceeds your max health is turned into gold, chat. I do like that speed boost after a critical ing. It's a little hard to notice, but it's pretty good when you do see it going. What is that? I guess a wreck of something. It's just one of those at a weird angle. I missed all the criticals on that guy. Finally, some damage scaling. Regarding wealth, my only point was that the girl with the wealthy dad just tends to appreciate it less when her husband makes money, as a tendency, of course, individuals can vary. Wouldn't that go both ways, though? Aren't you just saying that essentially people with more wealth devalue money? Or rather, the amount of money that they need to have valued higher before it's valued. I don't know if that is gender related. Darn. We didn't die because of the heal. Sure. Now you're blocking my shots. I need to figure out this lock-on shit. Let's try it here. That's locked on. It's kind of an awkward. Why is it now? Interesting. How do I change where it's locked on?
Quitters never
That's what I want to do. Look at me like strafe around like a pro now. Dude, that's so much easier. Be using that more often. But how do I get it to choose a more reasonable target to lock on to? Like that guy. Yeah. God, that's so much easier. Target this guy. Yeah. Now the ghoul, please. That's pretty nice. This doesn't scale, but it does better damage versus bosses. Don't think we want these. I think we're happy to move on. I continue. I wasn't very excited by Gears Tactics, honestly. It felt like it wasn't going to have much in the way. It just falls into all the same traps that that you kind of see it from like the Generation 1 like squad-based games, right? Which is, oh, this is a bad one for us. Which is, it doesn't incentivize you to level a team, just keep on your individual guys because there's no fatigue spirals or wounding. The interface is super insanely clunky for moving gear around, which makes gear management tedious as opposed to fun. The enemies are pretty one-dimensional. The AI is really bad for them, so there's not a lot of tactics in dealing with them. It tends to default to just first turn killing everything, which is really boring. Spawn camping or pod killing stuff is not a very fun way to play those games overall. I didn't like the mini checkpoint system because it seemed to really incentivize me to know what was coming already, because things like dropping in from above, burrowing out from the bottom, or just spawning behind me means a lot of my decisions about placement are just random. I just didn't like the systems in that game very much. It's possible I'll continue checking it out a little bit later, like if it gets a couple updates or something like that, but I'm not real excited about continuing to play it at the moment. I ran out of space to dodge. Dodged too early, trying to get him to break this wall open for me. There's a trap there, who knew? Okay. I just ran out of sight from this stupid torch debuff. So I got really unpleasant for moving around in traps. I can't see where I'm going because of the torch debuff, and I only have 4 instead of 5 stamina pits because of that second curse. I can't light these on fire. I don't have a torch deck. I don't think I have any weapons that cause fire, right? Right. Mini stunned into a second of fire damage. I think the run ends here. Kind of was enjoying this weapon. So it feels a little bad. But getting double hit there was, 500 damage I didn't have to spare. I just dodged. It just didn't do anything. I watched a streamer the other day who was playing a game and it had a controller button tracker. So it would show what button he pressed in real time. Kind of want to run that. So then I can be like, why the hell am I not getting healed right now? And you guys can be like, because you pressed a different button, asshole. I'd be like, ah. Why aren't you dodging? You didn't press dodge. stand there. Getting punished by this curse. Guess we're still alive, but it seems... So that bow is kind of good, and the bow is much better with lock on. I wonder if the pistol is better with lock on too. Why didn't I get healed for 75% health? Because I didn't fight any bosses. Or I didn't lift any curses, rather. You only lift curses after beating stage bosses. There's only one stage boss per stage. We'd already beaten the first stage boss by the time we got offered that. Which meant that we were waiting on the second stage boss. It's so painful to me when that happens. Get a strategy. It seems to relevant to use strategy. Get a great relationship also. Yep. I agree. I don't really know that strategy is anything except thinking about and planning for like the things that are occurring. I don't ever understand people who don't do that. I get into his argument fairly regularly in Crowfall, and it goes something like this. Crowfall is a mix of a strategy game and a first-person shooter. It's the best way to put that. Like it's a multiplayer MMO, but it combines first-person movement, so there's no tab targeting. Although there's a pretty generous hitbox. It's not like you can't hit things. It's not so much the skill on getting a target, but positioning is really important, movement's really important, things like that, right? So the type of people who are interested in that are often people who do a lot of first-person shooter stuff because it kind of naturally flows from that. It's an MMO that has the element of that type of thing that they're doing already that they're interested in. And the argument I get into with some Crowfall people from time to time is about theory crafting. It doesn't matter, just play well. Well, it does matter because if you hold skill equal, in other words, if you say the people who are playing are just as good as each other, then the people with the better builds and the better strategy come out ahead. So yes, of course it matters your movement, and yes, of course it matters your ability to stay on target and hit targets and to pay attention to the game as the first-person elements of it are. But that's just a component. And if you have two people who are equal on that, the person who has a way better fucking build gets way ahead. And the same is like that with everything in life, right? Like, okay, sure, like, you could just be naturally good at this, but two people who are equally naturally good and one person spends a bit more time thinking about it, why are they not going to be ahead? Why would you not put the effort in to ensure that advantage for yourself? I'd love to use this shield. Auto triggers parry, scales off dex, extra damage if they're burned. I don't know. I think we look for another one. I'm talking about Destiny. The streamer? The idea? Like, what do you mean talking about Destiny? No, I was talking about just... This is kind of nice too. Extra damage versus elites. Scaling dex damage. Damage in darkness. I guess damage in darkness doesn't help us versus the first boss. Corruption removal on kills is not a super good one. There's a lot of damage on this. Attacks from behind is not good on a hammer. That's quite strong. Hammer attacks versus uninjured is a very good ability. Damage versus elites is fine for the first one. Problem is this doesn't give me any incremental healing. We'd have to shore this up with relics. But it's a really nice weapon. We should probably take it. Yeah, as if you could play really well to make up for a good deck construction. Exactly right. Like, you have to play really, really well, and you need a really good deck. And the people who do both are ahead of the people who only do one. And there is, you know, the counter argument that is there's only so much time, so you can only advance one, or you can only advance them. If I spend 10 hours on, if I have 10 hours total to spend, and I spend 10 of it on developing some skill set, I don't have any more hours to spend. So there's an argument about, like, you just don't have enough time to do all those things, but I don't think that's the case in most of these scenarios, right? And it's another one of these areas where most likely a small amount of prep in both areas is better than, like, extreme, like, specialization in one of those areas. That's just true of a lot of things, right? A lot of the returns on things are pretty early into their investments. So I don't know. It was just interesting to see that argument come up there. It's such a weird argument for me. I don't really understand it from the perspective of, like, where they think that, how they just are so quick to devalue thinking about a decision they're going to make. I wish these things would stop being so annoying to approach. Holy God. Super annoying. That room was annoying as fuck. Yeah, they're not, that's true. They're not particularly fun to fight a group of those in melee. Especially in, like, a real limited, like, it's okay if you can, like, run circles around them, and then, therefore, like, they're just doing a lot of, like, shooting their attacks off into space, but when it's a corridor like that, you can't move. I almost killed myself with not pushing forward on that combo. So I figured out why sometimes my gun doesn't shoot and sometimes it does in this combo. And it's because if I spam forward while physical comboing like that, I'm in range to do the final combo. But if I'm just hitting like this and then try to press it, he pulls the gun to shoot because he's not actually in range to hit the target. Which I suppose is an upgrade for me. My opinion on RTS games like SC2. SC2 is too much micro for me. I was really excited about SC2 when it came out, but then I didn't like it at all. I like RTSs. My favorite RTS is probably, my favorite RTS ever is probably Warcraft 3. Although I really enjoyed playing Dawn of War 3 too when that came out. That was really fun. All right, are we buying this with gold or cash? Blood or cash? I think blood. Oh, we have a fancy hammer that we're not using. I wonder if I should use that. I guess we could offer gold. I already bought the hammer. Or blood because it's cheap. Let's take blood. Battle on Warhammer multiplayer, would you say you need most? What would you say you need most to include strategy or mechanics? But this is the point, right? You don't need one or the other, you need both. And I mean, maybe you could be like, there's a most here, but, like, is that useful information? Missed the wonderful Reforged. I watched Grubby play Reforged for a little bit. All right, let's get out fancy hammer. Slight upgrade, chat, from our existing weapon. Small steps. Warhammer multiplayer mean? MP is multiplayer, which we'll be playing on Thursday. Oh, those are charged hits, but yes. Okay, we need a supporting relic. I love greed kill limits, but it's not what we need here. Each kill removes 2 corruption and 4 dex on a weapon that scales with dex. This is pretty good. It's not healing though. We get 3 relic rooms in a row though. So we could just take the healing next one. Right, our scales with dex, scales with perception. Never mind. mean, that's still 2 corruption per greed kill. I think that's worth getting. Pay in blood, though. I forgot we got that curse. That's kind of rough. Alright. Well, let's play Old World. Yeah, we're going to check it out on stream. Whether or not I'll play it past the tryout day, I don't know yet. But we'll play at least an hour on stream. Get some sense of it. Hopefully it's exciting and fun. No! Caught in his fucking combo. Feels super bad. Just paid a lot of life there, total. Maybe I should have forced a life regen relic, but it was just like we were gonna go into another relic room, and the one we picked up was still very good. Yeah, I think the timing might be okay on the Warhammer for once, right? Which is we may end up playing the greenskins when they release that, and then we might also get lucky with terms of Warhammer 3 release timing if that ever shows up. It'd be kind of fun to play with that. That's actually useful for a second. I don't think we're going to hold on to that for long, but any healing here is good, and we're about to pick up another. We're about to buy something for quite a lot of gold. Here's a nice hammer. Alright. That's no good. That's very good. We can buy this with gold and fix our healing issue. Seems really strong. Scales our hammer, heals us every time we go through a door, and healed us for buying it, which is really what we needed in this run. We're out of cash. Probably hit unknown over another relic right now. See, I haven't... Interesting. Do we want to pay some corruption for a little life here? I don't think we need to. This is a little tempting. Internet killed MTG for you. I don't think... that sentiment's an interesting one to me, because I agree on some sense, right? Like, the downside of that is, like, everyone's net decking the top decks, and the top decks are inevitably better than the fucking, like, medium, like, homebrews. So, I agree with that. On one hand, that should innovate some design decisions from MTG, right? Because part of that game has always been the kind of deck building portion of it. And that's supposed to be something that has, like, people, like, from their home can brew up some interesting things and be competitive, and it's really not right now. So I agree. Like, hopefully that will change a little bit. Ooh, we can see what these do before we see me in the back, piece of shit ghoul that you are. Get hit by a hammer for that. I wanted to see what this was. It's a weapon, annoyingly. Just missed my greed kill. Not sure I should be running a shield over a hammer here, or over a pistol here. I have no ranged weapons right now. Can be nice to tap someone to finish them off. Yeah, I think I talked myself back out of it. Okay. Alright, boss fight with the hammer. Okay. It's the problem, the OP stuff. I mean, they do release cards that are too good for the meta from time to time. They generally respond by banning those. Wow, it'd be nice if those hammer swings were on target, huh? Dude. That would have been a good parry. Just did way too much damage here. Parry that, tried to parry that. Wow, did not think we were just gonna wipe right there. Got blocked once by a dog. Took 3 hits for it, and then just fucked up. F for filthy. God among gamers with controllers. Feels bad. Alright, where are we going? Got, wow. Alright, we'll just restart this run. Any other opening is fine except for that.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Hello, RVS viewers. Welcome. Playing some Curse of the Dead Gods, which is super fun, but I'm not very good at it. It is a roguelike action RPG, basically. Yeah! Arvius told me the other day. Hey, Arvius. I take it you're up all night. Arvius told me the other day he likes it when he stays up long enough to see that I'm online to host again when he finishes his stream, which is very kind of him to say, but it also kind of hilarious that I'm used as like a clock. He's like, shit, it's time to go to bed. Filthy's up. It means I've been up all night. Which I think is hilarious. What were you playing? I think it was Battle Brothers I saw when I looked earlier. Tab. This thing fucked up my streak by juking back into fire, which is annoying. You just come out of it, I could have kept the big read kills going. Felt really bad to get hit there. Okay. Alright, what do we want? We've got... It's okay. I think we'll roll again. Scaling bow that does fire attacks. This is a really, really good build around. Let's pick that up early. Okay. Tried Hades, I haven't. Night, Arvis. Thanks for the raid, man. Okay. What do the purple health bars mean? Yeah, it means they're summoned. The summons don't give back resources when you kill them, so you can't farm summons for anything. They don't drop gold, they don't give you health. Oops. Wow. I gotta get lock on here. It's almost killed myself like 3 times from that. I don't want to kill them with environment here. Cost me a lot of life to do it. Damage for claws is not helpful. Can't break this open. Feels bad. That room always gets me. I almost never can get this door open because I never remember that the 4 times trap room has those. I always just end up cutting those things back into the fire pits or the fire traps. Wow. Alright. First room, 900 health. Weapon that scales off con, and a con rune is a pretty decent start. Okay. I've seen 4 streams of Filthy playing this without noticing the Hades comparison. Oh, you mean that you personally haven't seen it to be similar to Hades? People suggest that every time I stream this. Creaking Gloom. I do 10% more damage in light is nice because my weapon is a fire weapon, so it always causes light. So that's kind of interesting. damage from your fucking shitty targeting game. And then didn't break open these walls with 2 people who could do it. That was bad. Chat, can I get a warning from one of my mods maybe when it's approaching 1 p.m. my time? So it's 10:40 now. So what, 3 hours from now? I don't like tapping the controller button. The depressing that button. I find it kind of annoying. Remap it? Probably. I don't know what I'd remap it to. I could remap parry for it, maybe. It's not like I ever pressed the parry button. Alright. 75% less corruption from them. Perception. Bow scales off of con, right? Yeah. So this is a reroll. 100% damage taken for gold. And dex is okay. Perfect dodge restores stam. No, let's look for a fire rune or a +1 stamina rune or a -2 corruption rune, I think. Weekend, 20% gold offerings, okay. Is that good enough? No update on that yet, Zero. We are playing some GURPS off stream, but we've been using it mostly as social time, so it's moving very slowly. Whether or not we get there to have something that we want to eventually put it online, but I don't know when it will be that we do that. It's not like we're recording them either, but I mean, I think we eventually want to make it something we do for an audience again. What do you guys think? Take this or move on? We have a chunk of cash. We could buy this for corruption. I wouldn't mind having a second curse before I go to the boss, because I don't actually want to remove the curse I have. Is that a roll a little bit deeper? I mean, I could look at where we have for this. Where are we in the... Can I not bring up a map from here? There it is. So there's one more relic by. Alright. Let's take this for now. In blood. And leverage our gold in the next... We'll go through 2 gold rooms and then leverage our gold in the next relic room. And for razors, the Screamer is scruffy. I use razors. I also just grow hair. It happens after you get to a certain age. Why am I on fire? How do I not be on fire anymore? Really? Will you fucking die? Holy God. Oh man. 50% damage taken is gold. Pretty weak one. +4 to highest attribute. If we can get our... that's not that good. I guess it could be... It goes +4, +8, +12, right? So we got the lowest tier of it, but it's still okay for right now. We'll replace it later, but if we get another con one right now, it will boost our bow up quite a lot. Only shave once the wife complains. Wife complains once I shave, so I shave rarely. Dodging makes you intangible. I don't like this one. Because I don't like that it douses my light when I dodge. That's a really annoying effect. Which it doesn't say in the tooltip of that at all, but it is the most annoying part of it. Got hit there. I forgot. I wasn't counting my dodge pips. Chat, I feel like we are not efficiently using our health total right now. We might have to pick some hits for cash. Weapon chests are so trash. A dungeon crawler kind of game. It is a roguelike action RPG, I think is what it is. So each run is a little bit different, a little bit similar. You're looking for synergies between your builds to get past the repeatedly scaling difficulty areas. You have some changes you can make in between runs. Your character grows a little bit stronger as you unlock more stuff. Stop getting healed, you know? We had that talk. Oh no! Fucking trap that I forgot about. Alright, well, we're getting that gold we needed. Crits doing damage is pretty good for us. Con is what our bow scales off of. This is actually really solid for us. It also activates our other rune that gives the max rune plus more stats. That's pretty good. We're gonna take that and we'll pay for it in gold, right? Yeah. Okay. You get iframe dodges? Correct. If you hit it on the perfect timing, you get iframe dodges. Item drop back there? Yeah, but it was claws, which I don't care about. Okay, boss fight. Our crits do a shit ton of damage. Why am I using the pistol? Question you'd love to know. crowded in here. If you could die before the wolves overwhelm me, that'd be fantastic. How much easier is this with lock on? Like insanely easier? Okay. No, they are dogs or wolves. Sometimes they're bears. They're never cats. Alright, let's get rid of this thing. Max stamina by 1 is phenomenal. Damage based on gold carried is okay. Certainly better than damage from claws, since we're not using claws. It's a decent pistol, and it will stop me from accidentally firing with the pistol. Or just, oh, this is fire damage claws. Hold on. Which gives us health, extra damage if we're carrying a dagger. Huh. So I might want to keep that claw weapon. What is this one? Extra damage versus elites. I think we want to keep the bow though, right? It's just a basic bow scaling off of con. Do have a lot of con. I did like claws for the next boss though. This is a weak one, although it is dex as well. I think we're gonna leave it. Get 30% damage on bosses and auto crits. For what though? This one here. We could claws all the way up and then use this for the boss kill. I don't want to give up my bow. My bow is good, man. This can be okay. The animation lock is pretty rough. The force crits is nice though. So it means we're switching to claws for most of this. Which means we either need to drop this. What damage range are we doing right now? This doesn't scale though. This is 48 and 8. What is this one? 25 and 7. %30 damage versus elites, and then 45% damage versus for crits. But I crit a lot in the bow already. I wanted to see how much this affected our claws. Claws are currently doing 18 plus 6, and if we pick up this, claws are doing 18 plus 10. That feels not how 20% works. I guess it is. It's 3.6. It makes some sense. I guess that's 20%. All right. I guess we're taking that and not taking gold off hits. I guess. I guess, chat. I guess. You convinced me. Mostly because the claws heal and I'm okay doing claws up until the boss, and then having an extra weapon to fight the boss with is nice. And I like being able to break open secret doors too. Claws crit a lot too. guess I go somewhere here, but I don't really know where. I guess south. Yeah. I like that rune that lets me get 5 picks off the bosses. Lets me feel like I get some more control over my build. Doesn't give me life regen, but scales off con and scales critical hits up versus one enemy is pretty bad ability though. All right, gold. Sure. Well, we already have crits versus that boss, and you can't crit twice. So crits versus a single enemy might be okay versus the final boss. Assuming those little things he spawns don't count as something that cancels that. I gotta have some life gain in the meantime though, right? We want more healing. 2% damage. It's a little more than that because the dex is there too, but this is probably better for now. Thought for some reason I'd kill him before he finished his attack. Knowing he didn't. So I'll make that same mistake. Is that it? Really? Okay. Perfect dodge, restore 1 stamina, 7 con. 10% of gold offering, 50% of gold taken, and 5 perception. What are our weapon scales? The scales off nothing. We're not getting scaling damage right now. That's a bit of an issue. Any of these matter? We have 4 rerolls. Well, percent-based healing does mean we want max con. I don't mind perfect dodge restoring. Is it worth paying anything for this though? And that's technically an upgrade. Favors a resource that lets me refresh the roll here. You have a limited number of them per run, so I can change these to 3 more rolls if I want. Seems pretty nice. All right. Old world just got released. Cool. Stats or weapon? Let's go stats. Let's see what our curse is. Our curse is trapped chest. This always does 1,000 damage to me. Good game. I was the chest. I declare victory. parry. 100% success rate. Tracked me a full 180 to hit me as it died? Are you kidding me? Nice leap. I don't know how to fight these with claws. Oh. What? That felt so bad. We just took 1,200 damage.